Well, you guys are here for a reason. This man needs no introduction, so why bother, right? But no, I will bother because he's worthy. He is the drummer of a band called It Looks Like a Black Hole. Their album is called A Ghost in Your Blood. He has been on a couple times. He's a good friend of Ryan's. He's a friend of mine. He's a first-time reader. People at home, please quietly applaud for a first-time reader named Todd. Did you like that? My poem?
That was excellent. Here you go.
Thank you. What? Oh, see, he's reading it. The determination of this young man is undaunting. It's inspiring.
Gentlemen.
Hello.
I just finished Winter Night.
Okay, yes. Well, what a coincidence. We're here to talk to you about it. I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
I'm super pumped. I'm excited. It's action-packed. I'm also extremely nervous for Mr. Tamil Thor. Man, I'm on the edge of my seat. Because I know that, going back to George R.R. Martin, I know that he was influenced by Robert Jordan. And, George R.R. Martin didn't treat characters too well, especially beloved characters. And I'm like...
Go on, I'm sorry.
So I'm just like, oh my gosh, is this going to be like... is this where George R.R. Martin got his chops for just, being ruthless to beloved characters? I don't know.
The most noble, honorable man in town, the guy who everyone wants to be. George R.R. Martin, you're right, would get rid of him before the end of the book for sure, right?
Just on the edge, man. But, at the same time, I'm super excited for this all the action that's happening because of, Robert Jordan's just masterful storytelling. He's so detailed, and he just builds the details. And then when action does happen, it's so meaningful and like so intense. So that's what I was
the outdoor
really excited.
The farm, him doing all the chores, them doing all these things, like just the farm itself, like the inside of the house, there's a lot of details there. And yeah, you're right. And suddenly all of it gets smashed by Trollocs.
Yeah. It's like they're about to sit down for this wonderful stew that Tam's prepared. And, Rand's just going over, all the details of the house. And it's And then the door's blown off by Trollocs. And the lock's spinning on the floor. It's like amazing.
Right.
So amazing.
And before that, though, it seems like the coolest little bachelor pad.
Totally.
Like everyone has their own little reading nook.
Yeah,
There's always a nice fire.
But
There's
way roomier
stew.
than you want it to be. I imagine it's pretty hard to clean. There's a lot of space in that place.
And very uncommon for Two Rivers, I hear, for two men to be living alone together.
And we think we mentioned it in a recap that it kind of has a kind of lonely feel if you think about how there's just two people and they make several mentions to how this place is big enough for generations of families and the
right
table fits 12, correct?
Yeah, going back to just Rand, his observations of the farm. I love it. Just in the beginning of the chapter, he's just going over, how the long winter is affecting all of the farm's chores. The milk of the cows is going to come, or it's drying up or something. They can't plant the crops yet because the ground's too hard, I guess. And he's just so observant. He's like the Two Rivers climatologist. He just sees how this weather change has affected.
Right. The hens don't give very many eggs. I mean, he's hoeing. They're doing every chore imaginable. He's out there hoeing the vegetable garden. I would think that under normal circumstances, that could probably wait until the day after Beltane. I mean, the weeds aren't suddenly going to be super crazy, but yeah, but he has him doing chores, and Rand, for his to his credit, is probably like the coolest young man, late teen, early 20 guy. All Tam has to say is like, "Hey, buddy, we live on a farm. You know what we got to do?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay." And he just goes and does his stuff.
It's like, okay, Dad.
Yeah, fine. He's like, and Matt's all, getting all the food and honey cakes that he can eat, and Perrin's getting all the food and honey cakes he can eat.
Yeah.
Rand's stuck on the farm cutting wood and doing all this stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just really love that, just deep detail, just Rand's observations and his character development in this chapter is amazing. Just his arc, his pattern has like changed now. With the attack of the Trollocs, he was like this simple bucolic farm boy, and now he's just thrust into this like world of just magic and adventure and Trollocs and sword fights, and I love it.
These super are things that were just stories. I mean, seriously, it's like if someone said that the abominable snowman is going to come to your house, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Coughlin talk, right? But I'm sorry. Yeah, but then it happens, and then there was like 12 abominable snowmen all trying to kill your dad.
Totally. And Tam is such like a master. It appears he's a master swordsman. I mean, he takes out like 4 or 5 Trollocs.
He does have some skills for sure.
So that like brings up a lot of
what do you think of that?
Of questions, it's like, and I think Rand is kind of taken aback. He's like, whoa, my dad's a badass. Like, he's kind of like, and then, he's like taking him out, and he's like, run. Yeah. And, and he's jumping out of windows, like.
Just wanted to acknowledge that we have our friends with us, and several of them are saying hello, and someone wants to say, nice shirt. And are we talking to Todd? I believe okay. Yes. I thought you were saying nice shirt for me, but
no, dude.
Because I am doing a change today. I am going no tie.
Is that that chest hair?
Oh, yeah. Did you notice? You can notice?
So yeah. It's
you never know what's underneath the shirt, guys.
Yeah.
What's under the red silk shirt?
No, that's polyester. Come on.
Oh, that's polyester. Yeah.
Rayon? I'm not sure. Rayon.
I'm putting the night back into winter. Hey, guys.
You do, with that lighting, you look really suave. Really.
For.
Yeah, no, you're hitting him, man.
Well,
I mean, like Daniel 10 out of 10.
I'm going for the Daniel Green lighting. He's got the dark, and then in the back, he's got some nice colored lights over there. So I think I'm the next Daniel Green.
It's very very, very sexy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one question from the chat right now.
Okay.
Our first question was,
bring it on.
Why does the Murdraw want to talk to Rand?
That is an awesome question. By the way, I was wondering how that was pronounced. I thought it was like Mydraw, so Middraw.
Open for debate. I say Murdraw, you say Mydraw.
Let's
call the whole thing off to that.
I'm really intrigued by the Middraws, or I guess they're fades too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Called fades? I don't know, but
we hear both names. We hear the word fade, and we hear Murdraw. Yeah, for sure.
So it seems like they control the Trollocs. So I guess they're like a conduit for the Dark One, or the whatever power, the dark power that's behind all of the Trollocs. they're extremely frightening. I mean, the way he talks about them, they could go when they turn sideways, they disappear, and they have eyes of fire, and they're 20 foot tall or something like that. Yeah, it's like frightening. But that's why I think he wants to talk to Rand. Somehow he's like a conduit to the dark one, or
so you think the dark one himself wants to kind of have a chat with Rand?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be my answer.
We forge ahead.
Carry on. Like the two river folk.
Master Luhan says, even when he's totally exhausted and he just rallies himself and he goes, man, if the light's not going to save us, we're going to carry on anyways. That's what we're two rivers folk. And he goes, and he just like runs back. He's like, I got work to do.
Right.
Yeah, it shows that that's more than just a slogan. It's like it's almost like a rallying cry. It's a belief.
Yep. They pick themselves right up.
What made Tam think to check the well? Is that normal for a farmer or a sheep herder?
That was a very interesting point in that chapter right there.
I like that question.
It makes, he's checking the well in case maybe it was poisoned or something. So, Tam's got to have some history. That just reveals so much about him, I think. He has like some war or like soldiering history.
Mm-hmm.
Or who knows? Yeah, some secret agent. Like, I don't know, man, special ops.
Do you think he checked the well just because he's overly cautious, or do you think he checks the well because there's something very specific might be going on with the well?
Oh, interesting. I don't know how to answer that. I mean, there may be something that comes up that they do to well. I mean, later on in the chapters or in the book somewhere, is that like a thing they do to wells? They put like some potions in them or mind-altering substances.
Oh my!
I don't know.
Wow!
I just assumed it was like poison. He just wanted to make sure.
Right.
He says something too about like how he just can't look at anything the same anymore. I think after all of this in that chapter, like when he's walking around the farm, and so that says a lot right there. It's like his warrior sense is like kicked in or something. So now he's in survival mode, and everything is suspect. Everything and anything is suspect, basically.
Well, this chapter also starts with us seeing this really cool, idyllic farm, and by the end of it, it is in ruins. It's destroyed. It's defiled. It smells worse than
dead. All their livestock dead.
Right.
Apparently Bella is nowhere to be seen.
You're right. Bella's gone. The cow's gone. There's dead sheep.
Yeah. Carnage.
Yeah. So we're seeing really just kind of Rand's whole existence kind of within like 10 minutes be completely shattered, like literally shattered.
Broken. Even his bow, right?
Right.
He like goes back to the house. That's a harrowing moment, of course, and leads up to something so amazing. I mean, he finds his bow broken, and I just think that says a lot. Well,
let's talk about that moment. What you just said it leads up to. You're talking about Narg, right?
Narg.
Okay, this leads up to one of the questions, okay?
Beautiful.
All right, one of the questions is, was it luck? And this is from Dana Liu. Was it luck that made Rand get Tam's sword up in time to kill Narg?
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, I think he says something about that. Or wait, does he? I can't remember.
He does. Rand says
right at the end of the chapter, he's like,
I guess I did get the sword up in time, kind of thing.
but who knows? Yeah, at first I was like, wow, is it luck or is it some innate like warrior sense that he has in him and he doesn't even see it yet? So I don't know. I'm really intrigued to see where that leads. And just great question though.
All right. Well, if you were a betting man, what would you say? Pick a side. Luck.
I would say
Todd's a total betting man.
I would say it's like some innate, awesome ninja warrior sense that he has in him that's been dormant, you know, for all of his life. And that's I'm a betting man on that for sure.
Okay.
And he also, it's really interesting, you know, like because Rand picks up on a tidbit about the Midral wanting to talk to him. So now he knows there's like a Midral. So maybe Narg isn't so smart, I guess. He's letting out too much. I don't know.
Right. He thought that would be like the selling point. Come on with me. Well, let's go talk to the Myrddraal.
Yeah.
Come on, it'll be cool. Come on.
Wait, remind me, does Rand actually drop the sword, or does he just move as if he's putting the sword down, and then is it kind of like a fake out? Does he drop the sword and then pick it up real fast, or is he going down to drop?
Yeah, he says, he's like, okay, I'll talk. Like
and puts
totally
it to a side, and then boom.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so
exactly
wait.
I'm coming at you, Dan.
Wait, slow mo, please.
I'm Narg.
Okay, I'll go.
That's exactly how I pictured it.
And then you die on top of me, and I'm just like, get off of me, T. Oh God, you're so.
Just a smelly dead Trolloc.
I don't think I would have gotten out from underneath that guy. I think I would have just kind of been. I kept pushing. Oh, get off me! Oh, I would have just died of attrition.
Well, I know that weighted blankets are kind of a thing now for anxiety, for certain like.
There you go.
That may have been one of the first weighted blankets. If he was not in such a state of fear, maybe it was kind of comfortable under big old Narg.
All the chainmail. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about the chainmail. No, that wouldn't be good then.
Yeah, 10. That's an extra. What? How many pounds do you imagine? That goes down to their knees, correct? How many pounds?
When I look at my notes. Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands of pounds? Okay.
Yep. That's what I've heard. Chainmail. Trolloc chainmails. Like
the impression I was getting when I was reading it was that there was defilement going on. There was more than just dead inners. It seemed like they had maybe defecated or...
Oh, yeah. There was...
right? It seemed like there was like malicious destruction of property besides... I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to get to Tam Althor. Maybe they were just trying to get to him and had to tear out every drawer in the bureau or just tear off all like the chairs to break them and stuff. Maybe that's just how they roll. But it seemed like they just kind of pooped on things. I mean,
yeah, there was something about markings on the walls or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or was that just Trolloc blood from Tam Althor?
Sure.
I mean, just the magnitude of that fight alone. You hear it from so many angles. From the inside, you see Tam take out 2 at the door, Rand at the back, and so many times you're just hearing just the sounds of steel on steel.
Yeah, sword clash.
And then you get to see literally him chasing or leading a dozen Trollocs away.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And instead of running away, he's like, "Oh no, I'm going back there!" Yeah. And Tim Rand's all, "Hey, no, Dad, I'm over here." And he's like, "Well, keep going that way, but go that way. But keep going that way. Don't really go that way."
Dude, masterful. You're looking good, man.
Yeah, so are you, Todd.
Do you oil your eyebrows? If you don't, you should think about it. Because I oil my beard. I don't know if you.
Well, I tend to just lick and stick.
All natural. I like that, dude.
Yeah, baby.
Lick and stick.
I mean, will I say that I have never tried a mousse or two in there? No, I can't. I can't say that. But yeah, for the most part, boom. It's easy. It's easy. It's easy to look like me.
Are there any grooming questions in the audience? We'll answer your grooming questions.
Totally.
Oh, okay. No, we got a fact-based question. I'm going to go through this.
Okay.
From Dean Moxley.
Hello,
Andre
Dean.
the Giant was 7'4" and 420 pounds. I think he's being loose with that. Oh, 430 pounds? All right. 30. Trollocs, being 10 feet tall, would probably weigh around 550 and 600 pounds.
Yeah.
Maybe an extra 125 to 175 in armor. That is a heavy blanket.
Dude.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
man.
my point. If that guy landed on me, I'm doomed. I'm just lying there going, I wished I did my push-ups.
Yeah, that's like that's like an entire bear on you, I guess.
But nothing,
Wearing armor.
but nothing for Rand. He's chopped enough wood to just throw that Trolloc off him, dude. Rand is pretty buffed, right? The way he's described in the book, is he
I feel like they really emphasize Perrin as being buff, and then Rand is having more sinewy, kind of tall lankiness. I think he's more tall and lanky. But
that's right.
What does the Gleeman say? His shoulders are what, like
an axe handle length long.
An axe handle length. What is that? Like, what's an axe handle length? Is that longer than a normal shoulder, or is that? Well,
yeah. That's like for sure, for sure.
That's right.
What does the chat say?
Ryan, if I can kind of defend Rand's strength, if I can, so his bow, I think, is about it's bigger than he is, and he's pretty much the tallest dude in town. And Tam Althor is pretty much the only other guy who's able to completely pull this thing back. So you got to figure that Rand's he's got some shoulders, maybe not Perrin shoulders, maybe, but no, he's
cut. He's cut. I think he's cut and really tall and but kind of skinny too, I guess. I don't know.
But they also, these are not like Rand and Tam bows. These are Two River bows. These are typical. These are what everyone uses.
Nope. It does state specifically.
Oh no! Get a fact beat down.
Hit the music.
Fact beat down.
So no, it does state in the chapters before that that Tam Althor is pretty much the only other guy in the district that can fully pull Rand's bow when they were walking down the quarry road.
I think I remember that.
Hey, and we have a chat now. Someone tell Ryan he's wrong, would you? Come on, back me up.
Take down.
Oh, wait. Here's my Mick Jagger. Oh, won't you back me up? Won't you back me up? I'll never stop. Thank you.
Don't make a grown man cry.
Don't make a grown man cry.
All right, so Dana Lee was pointing out that the bow is 7 feet tall.
Word.
Okay.
Bam.
All right, so do we think Rand is buff, or do we think he's not? What do we think? How do we justify, guys in the chat, everyone? How do we justify Rand getting out from underneath Narg? If we have a Narg blanket, how are we getting out from underneath that?
I think Rand's benching about 220, 225. You know, when you're laying on the ground, you have your feet under you. Yeah, I can do it. I can do it for sure. Yeah, I can do it. I can do it.
And we have to factor in he was just chopping wood and doing chores.
Yes.
Which I had originally thought that, Tam was doing a great idea that let's get this guy's mind off of everything and get him to work. But then I thought later on, what if that backfired and his arms are tired? If I was doing that work, I would not be able to kill an Narg. I'd be like, oh, I wish I didn't do the axing.
He's like, this sword's too heavy. Oh.
And he didn't eat dinner.
You're right.
He didn't get that awesome stew that Tam prepared, which I was really bummed about. I hate seeing food go to waste like that. Like in movies when people get up and leave plates of food, and I hate that.
Okay, so we got some answers.
Anyways,
we have some answers to the question. One is that, Tree says, how do you get out from underneath the Narg? Lots of shimmying. So Dan, give me a shimmy, Dan. How do we get out of a Narg? Right. You're lying there.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's easier than it looks.
No, yeah, no. And then, shimmying and adrenaline. Dean Moxley says, shrimp out.
Shrimp out? Wait. Okay.
I know. I have translation, man. Oh, Dan Lou says, Dan is right. I just think she's just blankly saying you're just right. And I think that's great. I don't think it's specific. Just Dan is right. Dan is right. Ryan's wrong. Let's move on.
Ryan, can you print this out for me? And every time we have a little discussion, I'll just be like, well, here.
Okay. All right. Yep. D Moxie says Rand had country strong. Tree says
country strong.
Dude, country strong. Totally.
A Tree says it was a honey cake power.
Oh, there you go.
I think this is Mandarv. Confirm if Scott is Mandarv. Scott says that he threw the hot water on the Trollocs face. LOL. Oh. And Dana Lou points out that Rand does physical labor all day.
All day. And it's a long winter, so he's been chopping way more wood than usual. Right?
No. Oh, gosh, that's, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay. So he's extra buffed.
Okay,
no, ladies and gentlemen,
that's it.
I think it's working out. Also, I was wondering if somehow, because Tam and Rand, if they're using these extra big bows, does saying the void of the flame help them somehow access some strength in a way to be able to use it?
Man.
Because I don't really see them pointing out how Rand is strong. They never talk about him. I mean, later on, I think after he trains with the sword a lot, I think they start mentioning he's got some muscles, but I don't think right now they're really emphasizing him being strong, not pick up Narg and get out. But anyway,
gosh.
so yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Oh, I just had this image. I'm sorry. I just had an image of Rand with Narg on his shoulders and doing chicken fights. When you're pick up Narg and he's like, come on, guys. And he's riding on top of Rand. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm a derail king. I'm sorry. Go. 3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2, 1. Dana Lou points out, yes, you are right about the bow, Dan. So what you're saying about the bow, you're right about.
You see me flexing?
Okay. No, I love this. This chat's amazing. We're learning something all the time. Dean Moxie's pointing out when he said shrimp out. I thought he was ordering a dish. He was explaining that's how wrestlers and MMA fighters get out from under an opponent.
Oh.
All right. So they shrimp out.
Okay.
All right.
Dude, learn something new.
I want more details.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh, please.
I have one question, actually. Okay, there's something. Okay, going back to when Rand was observing the inside of their thatched bachelor pad. He's looking at Tam's books, and he names one, and then there's a wood-bound book he talks about. He sees like what's that all about? And I can't wait to find out what that's about. Do you remember that?
No.
There's something about he sees like a wood-bound book.
Okay.
I was like,
awesome.
why would you just bring that up? And he doesn't say like what's on the title or anything, unless I don't know. Maybe someone will comment on that.
We have one more question, and this is actually a really important question. Why do you think Tam's wound was severe when it seems to be so small?
Great question.
That is awesome.
These are the best questions, honestly.
Yeah, thank you. We suck. We need you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, and then the follow-up question is, why is it so bad so fast?
Right. That's awesome. Okay, this is my take on it. Being I go back to the Lord of the Rings. I think about Lord of the Rings, and when Frodo is stabbed with that blade from the ring wraith, I think it's like some Trolloc thing. They have like a blade that's like some poison blade or something, or some magical blade that like will inflict like some just fatal wound with just like a nick. That's my take. That's what I think.
Hey, Todd.
Yes.
Did you happen to prepare any your favorite quote and your favorite moment?
Or Winter Night. Yes.
Or Winter Night, yes.
Just the moment when, they're sitting down to where Tam and Rand are sitting down to have that stew. And I just love it. Should I read it?
Oh, please.
Tam softly placed the stew-filled bowls on the table. Slowly, he moved away from the table. Both of his hands rested on his sword hilt. I don't think, he began, and the door burst open, pieces of the iron lock spinning across the floor. So cinematic. Love it.
Yeah.
And I guess he was responding to Rand asking, because they heard the knock on the door, and he thinks it's like one of their neighbors, and I guess Tam's like, I don't think, and then bam.
Well, even then we get a little like it's probably that shameless borrow over a neighbor.
Right.
It's like, just another provincial this can't be happening. It must be
it's probably that neighbor, our jerk, who always borrows our stuff.
A big point that I've just noticed, even when you're in that sentence or in that quote you just read, is that Tam had both hands on his sword.
Oh yeah, on his hilt, man.
On his hilt, he was ready.
And right before that, the line says,
totally. Oh yeah.
He says,
sorry.
He had a lot of questions to ask once they had settled at the table. And I would have loved to have heard that conversation of
so much.
What were those questions? So where'd you get that crazy sword? No, tell me more about that sword.
And why are you looking at it so longingly and grimacing at it?
Yeah. Yeah, why do you have such mixed feelings about this thing?
Now it's like I'm freaked out because I don't know if Tam's gonna make it. Like, I don't know if he's gonna be able to ask those freaking questions. I'm like, so
right, it does have
on the edge of my seat. Damn it! It's like
it does have like a Ned Stark, Jon Snow. Boy, we'll talk about your mother next time we meet.
I'll explain everything.
Yeah, we're still waiting. Yeah,
that's a good point. All right, one more question. People are asking for predictions. Todd, what are your predictions so far?
For the whole book? Or
the series? We have the events that we've seen, and then what does it make you think does it change anything of your perceptions?
Yeah, definitely. I have to speak just about this book. It's too heavy of a question to think about all the rest of the books, but just it reveals so much about, I think, Tam and about the possibilities inside Rand, And yeah, I think there's a lot to more to Rand than meets the eye. And we're going to see a lot of just very awesome stuff with
Rand
that.
Former.
Totally.
More than meets the eye.
Rand Farmer? Were you saying
Rand Former?
Nice.
Yep.
Okay, guys, we're gonna be okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are wrapping up our first time reader chat. This has been a great episode. Thank you so much, Todd.
Oh, awesome to be here. Thank you for all the questions. People out there.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to plug anything?
In the interwebs. Yeah, I guess right now we are listening to one of my songs from the band I'm in. It Looks Like a Black Hole. And it's a very interesting song title. It has everything we see happened in the past.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh, like a wheel.
All right, everybody. We will be back next week with another first-time reader chat. Next week, everybody, if you're following along, we're doing 2 chapters. And from here on out, we're going to do 2 chapters at a clip. Next week, we're going to do chapter 6 and chapter 7, followed by chapter 8 and 9. And that's how we're going to go. If we end up doing more than 2, we might end up doing 3 just because we might want to hurry it up a little bit to catch up with the Amazon television show, but we will let everyone know in advance.
Indeed.
This has been our first time reader chat. Let's say goodbye to Todd.
All right, y'all.
And thanks everyone who participated. This was fun. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
Awesome questions.
And
bye, Todd.
All right, bye, boys.
Get out of here, you filthy animal. Yeah.